choose compassion.
Choose compassion.
Caroline, one of the organizers for MTCAS. Caroline, what is your message for today?
Oh, that non-human animals are not ours to use, to eat, and to kill as we wish. They're not objects, they are their own persons. This is our message.
Yes.
On behalf of Jason and myself, Caroline, we organized this 5th march to close our slaughterhouses. And we're so happy that you came from near and far, from all over Ontario, from Quebec, from Newfoundland, from the States. This is a very positive day, indeed. So this event is based upon the statement that because meat production involves killing the animals that are eaten, and that their living conditions and slaughter cause them to suffer, and because also eating animals is not necessary, because also sentient beings should not be exploited and killed for any use. Therefore, farming, fishing, and hunting, as well as selling and consuming animal products, have to be abolished. Woo! Why do we want to do that? Why do we take such an extreme step? Abolish all animal products. Well, it's because meat, dairy, and egg production cause more oppression, suffering, and death than any other activity engaged by humans, and is the least questioned in our society. This is why we're doing this. 99% of all exploited animals are killed so that humans. 99% of all animals exploited are killed so that humans can eat them. And of this 99%, 95 to 97% are aquatic animals. Fishes, squids, lobsters, on top of the billions and billions and billions of bycatch victims. So really, our demand is about bringing a fair response to concrete and dire problems, among them being the violent and unjust fate we reserve to non-humans. We often say that suffering and cruelty is the problem. And we often say that better animal welfare and better treatment is the solution. But admittedly, although the fact that cruelty, suffering, and mistreatment is problematic, this is not the real problem. This is not what's at the core of the real problem. The real problem is non-humans' legal status as things, property, and commodities. The real problem is the fact that humans consider non-humans as things, as invisible, as inferior, as and different than us. The real problem, what's at the core of the problem, is speciesism. This is the real problem, speciesism. So because of that, we, of course, needless to say that the practices to exploit, torment, and murder non-humans is simply a consequence, consequences of speciesism. They are simply the consequences of our own twisted, oppressive mindset. So because of this, we have the duty to create a more evolved society. We have the responsibility to create new social norms by declaring that the status quo for non-humans has to change, nothing less. oppression and exploitation and murder of non-humans are certainly among the most irrational and violent practices we can find on this planet. But they are also among the most important questions of this century. You better believe it. And as we can see, slowly, evolution of mentality, attitude, and opinion is changing, is already happening. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't make a big deal out of this issue. But of course, there is still a whole lot of work to do, probably for our entire lifetime. Hopefully not, but probably. So again, thank you. Thank you for being here to materialize a more just, less violent society.
Why are you marching today?
We're really against how animals are raised to kill and factory farms. We're not really here to push veganism on anyone. Like, I don't think that's a way to do it. It's more to show, I don't think people understand where their food comes from. And so these photos might be a little hard to look at, but it's really important to know what you're eating, and I think that's what a lot of people lack.
I'm here with Linda. She's the host of Empty the Tanks. Linda, would you be able to tell us a bit about that?
Sure. Empty the Tanks is a worldwide organization started by Rachel Carberry out of Seattle. We teach people about captive cetaceans, about the atrocities that go on in marine parks such as Marineland, SeaWorld. We're trying to get people to really understand what goes into keeping those animals and how terrible it is. All of them are on antidepressants, so we want to get the word out there, and that's what Empty the Tanks is all about.
And you also mentioned that you volunteer at the Wishing Well Sanctuary.
Oh yes, I do Friday night feed with my daughter at Wishing Well Sanctuary. It is my place of peace, because my daughter and I both suffer from fiber pain, but when we're there and we're with the animals and they're looking you in the eyes and cuddling with you, you forget that you're in pain. And they are just so lovable. You just can't help but melt. If you really want to help out, come volunteer. It is the best experience ever. You'll just be overjoyed. I'm overjoyed.
How long have you been vegan for?
28 years. Yeah. When vegan wasn't even something that people knew, but and actually it stems from the fibromyalgia because the inflammation is part of the disease, and finding out that meat was causing the inflammation and then studying what was going on, knowing that it's not good for my health as well as knowing what was happening to the animals, it was easy. It was easy to make the transition. It was like, I don't need this. Veggies taste great.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you.
I'm here with Brenda. She's the founder of the Wishing Well Sanctuary. Hi. Would you be able to tell us about the sanctuary, when you started, when you founded it, and why?
Yes, we started 5.5 years ago. Well, I started the clock when the first truck came up the driveway. Very exciting, with 9 cows and 5 sheep. So that was 5.5 years ago. We have our charitable status. We got that about 3.5 years ago. And we promote, obviously we rescue farmed animals, but we also support and promote emotional well-being for people, because I think that when people feel better, they make better choices. So that will impact not only their own health, it'll impact the environment and of course the animals' health. We have a tour the second Sunday and last Saturday of every month, right till the end of November.
Yes. And what is your website so you can invite people?
Wonderful. www.wishingwellsanctuary.org.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Brenda.
Very exciting what you're doing.
Here with Edith, Farmhouse Garden. Tell us about your sanctuary.
So Farmhouse Garden Animal Home, up until last September, actually used to be a cattle ranch. So the owner of the farm used to slaughter cows for a living until last summer, when he came up to me and told me that he's been having doubts about what he's doing, and he doesn't think that what he's doing is right. So together we converted the cattle ranch into an animal sanctuary, and now we have 30 cows, we have chickens, a duck, horses, and a donkey. Yeah. It's in Uxbridge, Ontario.
So how has veganism changed your lifestyle?
Oh, in so many ways. It's opened my heart to so much love for animals, and I honestly like just having a clearing my conscience, and honestly, specifically with connecting with these cows, like I feel a really strong connection with them now, especially knowing that I do everything I can in my life not to harm them, and I try to advocate for others to do the same. Come out to Farmhouse Garden Animal Home when we have a visiting day and look at the animals that we have here and look how intelligent they are and how sweet and gentle they are, and I promise that none of you would have been able to hurt them if you could see them in person.
Here with Leanne and Marin of, what is it, Milo's Sanctuary? Milo's Mission. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Milo's Mission started actually years ago with a little baby raccoon named Milo that I knew nothing about and learned a whole lot about wildlife rescue. And
You weren't a vegan then?
no, I wasn't. I was not. I have been vegan on and off my whole life, and I was actually not at that point.
Okay.
And discovered that wildlife had no place in our world.
Yes.
So I learned a lot and had some issues with the MNR, so changed it over to farmed. I was vegan by this point.
Yes.
Changed things over to farmed animals, and particularly birds. I love them. I've always had chickens. We had a farmer down the road who used to send me his special needs birds that wouldn't have done well within his flock, or teach them how to walk. We made prosthetics for them. And then we moved to this rural property in Keswick, and we just continued it, and we did a big rescue about 2 years ago of about 30 birds. And Jenny McQueen said, "What a beautiful sanctuary you have, my dear." And I said, "We have a sanctuary?" And she said, "Yes, you do. Now you need a name." And I said, "Milo's Mission."
Amazing. So who runs Milo's Mission? Is it the two? Both of you?
Yeah, she's my media savvy person. I know nothing about working the media aspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And can you tell us how running this sanctuary has changed your life?
It's made me really aware of the need that we have on our world to take care of the beings that nobody seems to want, nobody wants to take care of. I enjoy bringing people over. It brings people together because a lot of people don't realize that chickens are smart. Ducks are clever. They're cheeky. They're funny. They absolutely. So there's been a lot of people that have come over and not actually learned what chickens can do.
They can solve, like, I think they're better at math.
No doubt. I was about 13 and I was beaten at tic-tac-toe by a chicken at a Coney Island type of event. Yeah. So it's brought people over that wouldn't realize that they're kind of cool. They're not just something that goes on your plate. And they're lovely.
We're always like open, or someone's always home. I mean, feel free to message us. Yes, please, so you can vacuum the carpets kind of thing. But I mean, the chickens and the ducks and all of the animals and all the people living at our humble abode love to have visitors. We love to open people's eyes. We've had lots of people come over and, like Leanne said, really not realize how clever and how personable a lot of our animal friends are. And we've opened the eyes to a lot of people, which is a really great feeling.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. Group hug! Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Kaivegan TV on YouTube and on Instagram. And as always, choose compassion.
Living in misery, won't you do something about it? Please do something about it. You say I'm different, so you treat me lesser than, but you are so wrong about me. Yes, you are so wrong about me, because I'm like you. But in a different body, yet there's still life inside my body. Let me be free, freedom from your tyranny. It's all I've ever wanted. It's all I've ever wanted. make history and bring justice to my life, love. Bring justice to the lives lost. Because every day they will try to convince you that humane murder is justified. Believe me, I don't want to die, but I'm at your mercy, and you are the difference. Be the voices of the silenced, and the silence stop the violence. Organize lives, speak up for the defenseless. Without you are defenseless. Towards justice on this day.